So this week we had 2 days ago, we had a bump for Omarchy. It went up to 3.3, and you could do the update straight from your system, and you'd get a couple of hyperland errors because they changed some bits and bobs. But if you just went through it, it comes up fine. Now, it's interesting though. I downloaded the installer because I wanted to test it straight away, and it gave me an error on an NVIDIA. And I just found it amusing, but I posted the error on Git, and I think within 12 hours later, about 12, they'd pushed an update and the ISO worked again. And I mean, it's hilarious when you think of dealing with people with operating systems, we're talking, not bits of software, where you'd submit a bug and things. I remember raising a bug once with Microsoft, and I don't think I ever got it back, ever. And it was one of these things, but this, like, there's so many people involved with this, it's great. And you feel quite supported with it because you submit a bug and someone will go off and try and work on it and fix it. And it did. And they pushed the ISO. So that ISO, I'm going to install on this laptop. And we'll go through the install. And then we'll go through some of the new features. And one of them is really, really nice. And it's interesting when they add features. I don't know who decides. Probably DHH decides what goes on this. But it's really interesting because the choices that are being made just fit in with what I'm doing and what I want to do with an operating system, and they're actually useful. If you look at what happens when you get an update from Mac or Windows, there's a lot of nebulous updates for me with a Mac that I don't care about. I don't care about half of them, and they don't really, I don't know, I can't think of a Mac update in years that's really sort of added to what I can do. I mean, there's lots in there, but because these are so poignant, these are so focused, these things, you actually go, okay, actually I can use that. And there's two big ones in here for me, which I think are fantastic. So yeah, and with Windows, I don't know. I mean, every update they do, they're just trying to patch something that's broken, aren't they? It's literally broken. So yeah. So anyway, so what we'll do is we'll switch over to this. I've got my laptop. The laptop I had to get ready to do a clean install. We'll just go through the clean install. We'll reboot, and then we'll go through some of the new features, and then I'll show you some software installs and bits and bobs like that. So with that said, let's dive in. Okay, so here we are, standard at startup. See how quick this installer is. It clocked in one of my machines at 3 minutes 30 seconds, so I'm pretty impressed. Here we go, let's just do the standard stuff. Now, I'm on a laptop, I don't have internet connection, so UK, let's do my standard username, Q, for my test machines, Q, don't need that. And it won't pick it up automatically. If you're on a network connection, it will get this, so London. In, yep, and then it's found my drive, pop that in there, and let it do its thing. Yeah, so it's doing a small version up on the big capture screen up there because it's coming off my laptop as it's doing this, so I'm piping it out on HDMI. So yeah, sorry if it's tiny. I mean, obviously it'll burst into life when it gets there. So does this use thing? I mean, I mentioned in another video, I'm actually working on, I know people can't cut the cord yet or make the jump to hyperspace properly. So I'm doing a dual installer, so you could do Windows 11 and Omarchy on the same drive, yet the Omarchy install will be encrypted, so it will be an encrypted enclosure, so it won't break the whole thing about Omarchy, which is disk encryption. So there'll be an encrypted one here, and then Windows 11 here if you need to use it, but you can boot it from your boot menu. So I'll switch to Limine, or I'll switch to, I'm doing that. I'll hopefully get out tomorrow. But yeah, so I've been working on that. But yeah, this was interesting. When I did the first install, it failed on NVIDIA, but it went straight in on AMD. So I raised the issue on Git. DHH jumped in. They took it on board. We worked it out. Somebody else had found the issue. About 12 hours later, they pushed a change and it was done. And this is the installer. So, I mean, how's that for, that just made me chuckle that, because the amount of times you do this stuff for different distros and stuff, and it just goes off into the ether. But no, it's great. Really good. So this will just blitz through and then it will come back and reboot. But yeah, so there's been a lot of mini updates in between to fix things, change bits and bobs, but this is a big one. And if you are using my gamescope scripts with NVIDIA, you need to rerun the script, because after you do this, it changes the NVIDIA driver, I believe. So you'll need to reapply the mod set 1. Otherwise, you'll just get funky problems with NVIDIA. as usual with gamescope. Let it blitz through. I think this may come in, I don't know, this one's slower, so it may be about 3 minutes for this, maybe quicker. I may be making it up. But yeah, the only reason I'm doing it on the laptop is because I know there's a really cool feature in this that I'm going to go through with you, and it needs to have a microphone. And if you've not checked it out already, it's basically AI voice to text, but it's so well integrated, it's just marvelous. But we'll go through that. So where are we up to? Just rumbling along, doing its thing. Yeah, great. It's really good using this. I mean, I would find it difficult to go back to another distro now, because this is just so well maintained, and there's so many people using it, and it just fits in so well with what I do. I mean, I spend some of my day editing. I can do that on Omarchy. I mean, the Mac is getting very little use. I mean, I'm using it for OBS at the moment because it's just easier to record onto that at the moment, because I'm installing on the Omarchy machines. So, but at some point, I think this laptop will take over from that laptop and become the OBS machine. So that would be quite useful, and then I can put that on eBay, which is the end of my 2026, because 2026 is the year of the Linux desktop. My 2026 year, my sort of whatever it's called resolution was to get rid of my Mac, like the actual unit. I mean, I've moved off of it, but it was to sell it and have no way back, and just go straight down the Linux route, which I don't use it anymore as such, apart from this. But this is the way forward. And obviously the other thing is it's much cheaper to have. I mean, this laptop is a bad laptop. When I bought it to test the gamescope script, because it had mucks and things like that. But I mean, with Omarchy on it, it flies, and I mean, it's like more snappy than that thing. And that's an M3 Max laptop, and this is not a great laptop, but it works really, really well. So let's see. Hopefully, this goes through properly. It's getting there. And it should reboot. I've got this coming out on HDMI to the 4K display over there. I mean, this should be 4K, but it's not, obviously. So it's just capturing that top left-hand corner of what's going on. So what do we reckon? 3 minutes 30? 3 minutes for this? Don't know. See, it does. It must be the. Oh my god, what we got? What's our time? 4 minutes 40 now. I'm going to say that it's going to be 4 minutes 40 on there, because it is a slow laptop. I don't think that's to do with the Omarchy. It normally does 3 minutes 30 on my other machines. Let's get rid of this card, this USB. Okay, pull that out, and we should be back. You're seeing no signal. Here we go. And let's fire up. Just thinking about it. Okay. There we go. And we're back. So what I'll do, I'm going to jump off, set my Wi-Fi up, update the system, just a quick update, there's not much to do, and get it set up, and then I can take you through the new features. Okay, so we're back. And first of all, I mean, this is a minuscule thing, but I found it very nice. If you go into themes, where are we? Style, themes, and then you go to Grovebox, you get this, which is an impressionist painting. Now, it's really weird. On my monitor, this literally just pops off the screen. It looks like the paint strokes are on my monitor. It's great. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Anyway, there's just one tiny thing. It's just a small thing, but it's a beautiful painting, and it looks great as a desktop. Anyway, so that's that. Now, what we're going to show you first of all is a thing called OpenCode. Now, this is really clever. So let me bring up a terminal. Now, I've switched to Kitty. Someone pointed out that, because I used to always install console, but Kitty does the same thing. It allows me to just drag and drop. That was the thing I couldn't do. So what's OpenCode. OpenCode allows you to use multiple models for AI, and they've done it as an alias shortcut. So if you're in terminal, you press C, and it should do its thing. So what does it mean? So basically, it's now I can use, so you can tab to switch agent, but you want to do Control P, and now you can drop into the menu system. And what you can do, you can connect providers. So I can connect to Anthropic, GitHub Copilot, OpenAI, all these other models that are on here, Llama Cloud. So let's just do Claude Anthropic, just put on that. And you can do it through the Claude Pro Max. Enter to submit. Now, what do I need to do? I need to click on that. Brings up a window. Authorize it. Copy code. Paste that back. And there we are. And then I can select the model that I want to use. And I want to use Opus 4 latest. It's my code model. Close that window. So now, hello. We're into, yeah. Basically, you have to go into the API with this. I've just shown you that to connect it. It won't work. But basically, you connect up your model. Let's just change the tab. Where is it down here? Tab. What was it? Oh, Control P. Control P. Let's just go to switch model. Let's just use OpenCode. Let's use Big Pickle. Okay, hello. Big Pickle. Hello, I'm here to help you with software engineering task. What would you like to do today? Let's just do something. So let's just go Super Shift F, and let's go into my downloads folder. We'll come back to this in a minute, and then I'm going to just drag this in. Okay, explain this script, and then just drag that one, which we'll install in a minute. Read the file, blah de blah. This is my DaVinci Resolve installer script. Blah, important features, does whatever it does. So you can code in this. So, you know, I think there's a fee involved, but I mean, it's just a really nice way to, I'm going to get a lot of time in this thing. So it's a really nice way to just do it. So, you know, to get rid of it, it's just that, and then you want it back, super space, C, launches it again, and it brings you into OpenCode. So you're into, and you can, because the thing I always found was it's difficult to bounce around between models, because sometimes I take something over to Codex to check something that's been done in Claude, and you can use like two AIs to, but you can switch agents in this, so that's quite cool. I mean, a lot of time to play with this, so that's fantastic. Well, I really enjoy. So let's come out of that. Now, that's really useful for AI. Now, one of the things about me is I'm dyslexic. I love shortcuts and stuff, but typing has always been a thing. Long typing has always been something that I found problematic. Now, what they built into this, which is absolutely fantastic for people like me, is they built in press to speak dictation. So how do you install that? Sorry, I've got multiple firmware. You go into here, and you go into install, and then you go down to AI, and at the top you've got dictation. So if you enter that, yep, let's put that on, and it'll put in some basic models first of all. I think it gives you, you can see in a minute when we do it. There is a thing with this, and I've written a script, which we'll do in the second part of this, which is a free script, this one, that you can play with, because I just thought it was an easy way to do it. So what you can do now, so at the top there, Super Control X to dictate. So how that works is, let's bring up a window. That's the terminal. Now, if I press Super Control X, it's press to type. See, it doesn't do it. Super Control X. Yeah, see, it does do it. You can see the text is coming there, but it's tricky to control. All right, so Super Control X, and you're supposed to hold it down, and now I can say things, and it should appear at the top of the screen. And then when I release, whoa, you see, yeah, they've got a problem with this, and I know that there's a, come out of that. I've opened Claude up, it's all gone a bit pear-shaped. So the idea is sound, and it's a great idea. So I wrote a script which you can link to this in the bottom of the description to cure the problem. I know they're working on this because what's happening is Super Control and X, the super keys have got modify keys. So they're sort of grabbing on to whatever. So they need to build another layer in there. So but the moment you do it, it dislocates it. So let's bring that up. And you can see it's still going now, look. There you go. And it still carried on. It didn't turn off on my screen. So it was still listening. And I think that's problematic. All right, so let's just get rid of this and try again. But let's just run one of my scripts and I'll show you something. I think that a combination of keys is tricky. I think that Super Control X to do this is too much. And if you bring your fingers off wrong, I mean, I know they're trying to write a way around it. Now, when you look at your keyboard on your computer, you've got keys you never use. You never use them, but they're different for everybody. Now, so I wrote a script that allows you to choose the key, and I don't want to use 3 keys. I want to use 1 key. But I've got keys I never touch. You're all different, and you've all got different keyboards. So this script, if it works, because we're going to do it for the first time here live, so let's just open up a thingy. Let's go into downloads. Should allow you to pick the key that you want to use, 1 key, not a triple key. So let's just do that over the top. Now I've got two versions, but I'll install the one. I did one called toggle, and what that meant was it was either on or it's either off. You didn't have to hold it, so it stayed on. But this one's different. This is press to talk, but it's done in a different way. So CHMOD plus X, and then plus X, he says. There we want that one, drag it over there, and then we want to run it. So you get some options. So you get press any key to bind interactively. You get press a modify key to, or you can just restore it back to the original way. So I want to use my Windows Copilot key on my keyboard as my press to talk button. So I need to press 1. A small window will open. Press the key you want to use, and then Windows will close after 5 seconds. So let's do that. Press that one, and a window pops up. You see it below. So now I press my Copilot key, leave it, and there it goes. Detected key, whatever. Use that as my push to talk. So yep. Okay, that's it. So now I should be able to do this. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there you go. So you've got some choices on there. So just run it again. I mean, there's all sorts of keys on your keyboard that you don't. I mean, I don't even know what insert does. I'm sure Cody people may do it, but I mean, I don't know. But there's keys on your keyboard you don't use. So this is designed. I mean, obviously, if there's a modify key, hang on, I can't do it like that. Let's just come out of that. Honestly, what's going on? Don't want that one. Let's come out of that. Yeah. So obviously, I've got another one on here, which is Alt Graphics on the right hand side. So press 2, select modifier. So I'm going to press Alt Graphic and to continue. Alt Graphic, hold it down, let it go. And it comes up as ISO level 3 shift is not a typical modifier key. Use it anyway, yeah. I'll use that key as press to talk. I don't know what Alt Graphics does. Go Traffics. Anyway, as part of this, you can actually go up. If I hold it down, you can go up and you can click on it and it brings up. There you go. It's just copied that straight in there. You can click on it and you can download different models. So it installed is 2, which is base. So what would I need? High accuracy. I mean, the bigger models, and you can download them. It's like 6 is large. So this is the Whisper model from Facehugking. It's brilliant. So I mean, and you can do this. So that to me, with that little script going on, it means that the Windows Copilot button actually has a use in life. So let's just close these down. And let me just go back out of that X. So another one whilst I'm here that I'm going to do, I'm going to try the DaVinci Resolve installer. So let's bring that up there and see if that works. So actually, what did I put it as? That one? chmod plus X. No, not that smart. Not that smart here, but actually let's try it with Claude. Yeah, just doing the thing. So Claude, I want you to write me a bash script that automatically installs DaVinci Resolve from a zip file which has been downloaded into the downloads folder, and I want the bash script to be created next to that file. It's trying. I may need to put a bigger model in there, but you can see there's a lot you could do with this. I mean, if you're you know, there's another way of doing it. There's a toggle script I did which was basically based off of Super Control X, and you push it down because then you want to talk for ages, don't you? And then it'll come off. So I'll put both of them up. Anyway, let's just try to get rid of that, and let's get another one up, and then let's just try C8. He says CHMOD. Where's the plus on the keyboard? I'm losing my mind. Plus X space. And then just do resolve install. See if this goes in on this version. And then we'll pop that in. Now it's the free version. Hopefully this will run. Q. Now to the laptop. I've never installed this script on a laptop. I always do it on a thing with a dedicated card, so I've no idea whether this will actually work. Rig utils, install it, unpacking zip. Let's try it. Whoa, it's off. The graphics card's going bananas. Doing it. Hopefully this will work. I don't know how it works. I don't know how this works with, I mean, it's good to have a laptop to do this now, because I don't know how people have complained about the script working with. They're not really, they don't say I'm on a laptop. And I mean, it should, much like the gamescope scripts, it should detect the DGPU, or you should be able to switch between them. It should do both, because I mean, you can with Resolve render on two, well, not on the free one, render between two things. What's it saying? Failure, libcrypt, up to date, already skipped, clearing up temporary directories. Okay, let's see what's happened. So Resolve, DaVinci Resolve. Now, one of these doesn't launch normally. That one, I'm just doing it. Be interested to see. Quick setup, skip and start right now. Now it's doing the tiny text thing. There's a, oh, look at that. No, I don't want that. Skip. Let's just get that one. Hate this keyboard. Right, let's just go up there. Resolve preferences, user, and put that to 150. Save it. Okay. And then we want to come out of that. Quit. And then we can launch it again. Resolve. Oh, DaVinci. There it is. That's better. Okay. Be interested to see how the graphics have set themselves up on this. Oh, look, it's not going full screen. Well, obviously, it's not good to launch this. Let's just do that full screen. But up here, preferences, GPU. Hey, that's all right. It's automatically detected my minuscule 350 6 gig laptop GPU. You could do HD on this. I wouldn't stretch this to 4K. That may explode. I mean, Resolve needs a good 16 gig card, 8 gig minimum, 6. You know, I could probably do proxy editing on this. Anyway, cancel. Let's just come out of that. I get so confused with this keyboard because it's got a function key next to the super key. I'm not saying the word Windows, but it's a Windows key. Anyway, okay, so the last thing I'll put on here, now that script, I'll put a link above. That's you can get that. I'll just do Super Shift S, and Super Shift S is has been my baby to put gamescope and a proper gaming environment onto Omarchy. And this is in the members area. I'll put it on Git at some point in the future, but I've just got to get enough cash back to pay for this stupid laptop. So this works on laptops and desktops, in NVIDIA and AMD. Let's just pop it in. Oh no, I haven't. It'll fail. Oh no, it's going to do it. Okay. So if you don't know what it does, this basically sets up a gamescope session on here. So you use Super Shift S and then it jumps in and you're in Steam, like deck mode. There are some limitations with NVIDIA, and I'm doing install. I'll need to do a reboot with it. And also the last video, I've actually found a way to get GeForce Now running inside it as well if you wanted to play Battlefield 6. So let's put that on there. Here you are, package. Just got to put it down. But yeah, the final version was getting a laptop version sorted out, so it would work on and detect the DGPU on a laptop, because this was the problem. I didn't realize how many people use laptops. That when people were trying to play games, it was detecting the iGPU. There was issues with the lid being open and the lid being shut, things like this. And so I had to figure out all these bits. And having this laptop, I mean, it's like 500 quid, but it was well worth it to be able to fix all these issues with it and then put it up there. That's what I'm saying. It's going to stay as a members thing. There's loads of weird versions out there, but they don't work properly, or they're flaky. But eventually, when I get some cash back for this, I can put it into GitHub, because I pay back the money that I spent on that stupid laptop, which I didn't need, but I only got it because I got so fixated on doing this script. So Proton, put the latest version of Proton on there for you. But yeah, so whilst that's going on, I mean, 3.3 is not a massive jump, but I really do like the AI typing thing. I mean, I will be playing a lot with that. I'll put a Cleverer model on and test it, because for me, I mean, I do lots of prompt work outside of the editing. You do lots of stuff like write reports, and if you can just, for me, the toggle mode that I wrote is probably better, because I can just like stab toggle or hold it and then just talk and talk and talk and tell it what to do. Obviously, I don't know what the levels are on the actual speakers here. Let's have a look. So recording, not showing, it's input devices. So there you go. That's the audio. You can see it bouncing up and down. That's my speaker on the laptop. Let's get rid of that. Oh, add to user group. Yep. DR mod set, you need to do this. NVIDIA card. Proceed with installation. Yeah. That'll pull down performance issues, shader optimization, syscapsys, session switching. The monitor I want to select there, this is got on the laptop. I need to select monitor 2. That's my HDMI, because that's connected to the DGPU. Installed Chimera. And off it goes again. I mean, now I've got. I don't think I'll use this laptop in anger. I mean, I don't think it's great with Omarchy though. It's hilarious because it works really well. I mean, it's appalling. When I got it with the Windows 11 on it was appalling. Now this needs to reboot. We'll go through the last part of Steam. So yeah, so it's not a huge update, but the AI voice to text thing, very clever. Good. It's a good implementation. It's free. It's an open source thing. And I finally found a use for the Copilot key, because it has serves no other purpose in the world, does it? So let's just go back in. Rebooting. The fans on this laptop sound like a hairdryer. And it's actually pretty pedestrian when it comes to playing games, but you know, I can put it into Mux mode, and it's better. So here we come back up. Okay, and then you need to do this, you just need to go into your launch Steam the first time, give it its break. I really do like that picture. I've never seen it before. It's probably really famous, but I've never ever seen that picture before. That is a worthy addition to the many Omarchy themes. Right, give it a sec. As you know, Steam takes a moment to do its cycle before it comes up, and then I better get my keyboard ready to do a login. Yeah, give it a sec. I don't know what does this. Some distros, it actually does it properly and sort of tells you it's doing something, but on a lot of distros, I don't really care. I mean, once it's done it once, it never does it again. On a lot of distros, it does this silence, and you think it's not working. But yeah, so good updates. I mean, there's some extra bits there, stuff that if you were really keen on updating your themes, they've got a TOML file you can use now to easily theme stuff and use the colors. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Sign in. Give it a sec. Closing user data. It's going to go nuts because it's halfway through a patch or something to Arc Raiders, so it may start downloading a patch. Hopefully this works. Okay, Steam, just do their settings. Downloads, switch off, shader cache, get rid of that, shut down Steam, exit. And now to get in, it is Super Shift S. Games mode starting. I think the first load's quite slow. Yeah, I mean, if you watch the laptop video, the laptop was just, it was a nightmare. And there's Steam. There we go. And you're in. Do all your clicking. Down the bottom, settings, display, turn off HDR. Don't know why it does it. My monitor doesn't support HDR. And you come back out of that. There's your games. And to come out of that, it is Super Shift R. Shuts it down after you finish playing your games, and give it a minute because it's got to work out where it's got to go again. No signal. Making these videos, I've learned that symbology in Korean, I think, it means no signal. It means, there we are, we're back. So that's it. So come back to me. So there you go. So Omarchy 3.3, there's a small increments in there. That's a great image. That image on the thing. I mean, there's a small increment there. The AI thing's brilliant. I really like it. There's a few patches that went on in there. The open code thing, it's really bad to demo, but I mean, I'm sure that will now become my standard way of doing, vibe coding, or however I do it, because I do bits of it, chuck it in there, and then it does its own thing. And it looks really good because it connects up to other models you haven't got. I mean, I've never used that Zen model thing before, so that's worth a play. But yeah, so yeah, good update, great. That the push to talk feature is fantastic. I really enjoyed mucking around with that, and I'll actually be using that in combat. So I mean, it's a really good feature to have. So if you've not updated, when you do the update, you may get a few hyperland errors. Don't worry, just go with it. Go with the way it goes through, and it'll reboot. There are a few outstanding issues I think they've got to crack, but they're really quick. It's nuts. And they'll get it back up and going probably. But you just download the ISO, that's 3.3, and it just do a clean install or whatever. The next thing I'm going to do is a Windows 11 script to do, so you can dual boot, but it's encrypted for Omarchy. I don't care about BitLocker, but I'll do that. That's the sort of next project, because I think a lot of people can't quite cut the cord and make the jump yet. So it'll give you a fallback if you really need to do it. Anyway, I hope that's useful, and as always, thanks for watching.